All right, what's up guys? tubrepairstore.com. Today we're working on kind of a spiderweb cracking damage on the lower part of a fiberglass tub. So what you want to do whenever you have kind of a spiderweb cracking, it's almost like it's been hit maybe from the front or back side, but it's kind of spiderwebbed, is try to chip away any of that loose gel coat. If you don't chip that away and it's able to move after the repair is made, it's liable that it'll start to show a crack again. So be careful of that and then sand it way down until it's flat. Now this is the ultimate chip kit, so I just have the finish putty. Very straightforward. The damage was still firm after I sanded it. So really I'm just kind of going to seal that up. I'm going to give it a nice smooth, fairly thick coat, but you don't want it protruding. You want to be able to sand that pretty flat, but you do want to make it thick enough because I did sand that gel coat down quite a bit. So with that finish putty, just give that about 15-20 minutes to set up. In the meantime, you can match your color. Here I was working with the gold white, darn near matched perfectly. I think I ended up putting just a hint of gloss white in there just to lighten it up a little bit. May or may not need to do that, but I did. Lightened it up, just stir your swatch around, put a little drop on the surface. Now, a lot of people ask when they're doing this, how do they clean up those swatches? Fiberglass tubs, you can just wipe those with acetone. That won't be any trouble. Now, if you are dealing with a plastic tub, do be careful with the acetone. I always recommend taking the acetone on a paper towel and testing it near your damaged area to see how the surface responds. Some of the less expensive plastic tubs are kind of weak and just not a very strong plastic, and the acetone can actually make those kind of sticky, especially if you kind of scrub them in an area, so you want to be careful about that. As you're matching your color, once you get to the shade that you want, here I mixed 1 ounce of resin. A lot of times what people do, and I think this causes those pre-valves to malfunction, is they will mix up too much resin and have too much product in that jar and try to fill it all the way up. I did 1 ounce of resin, 1/4 ounce of catalyst, and 1/2 ounce of reducer. I have a little bit less than 2 ounces of product, and this is going to be more than enough to complete this repair. Now, what I'm showing you there is another thing that people do. There's a breathing hole. You want that breathing hole for the pre-valve facing you, and you want the spray tip facing away from you. So if you tilt this down, it's not going to come out of that breathing hole. You want that breathing hole facing up if you're tilting this down. So be aware of that as well. Also, pull that filter cap off of your pre-valve. That's going to save you a lot of headache. And just be sure you get the ratios right. 4 parts resin, 1 part catalyst, 2 parts reducer. Mix it up. You do want your product to be at about room temperature when you're working with it, all of it. Your project area, you want it to be, 60, 65 degrees or more. That way, all of the times that we have set, those will apply. If it's colder, they're not going to set up as well. They're not going to set up as fast, so just be aware of that. Now, once you get it sanded, you just want to be sure you sand it and you can't feel the edges. If you can feel the edges, if you feel a lip or something like that, it's going to show when you spray it. So once you get that done, use the wipe-on primer. That's the gold solution. Just wipe that on. Make sure it doesn't look wet. And then go ahead and fog on your coating. Here, I think I did about 4 or 5 coats and just kind of slowly build it up. I am drying it in between coats for about 30 to 45 seconds with the blow dryer. I cut that out of here just for the dead time, but I am drying that in between. So this was great. Good finished up, looked great. Couldn't even tell it was done. That's what we like. This was the ultimate chip kit. Get it at tubrepairstore.com. Save your tub today.